We're kind of learning as we go, so if there's a little technical hiccups along the way, please be patient. First slide, please. I'm an architectural historian. I look at the world through buildings, places, and their histories. Because I've been at this for half a century, I've had the opportunity to answer the question implicit in Palacios Preservation Association's series title, Why Does Preservation Matter? I am from the border, Brownsville, Texas. That's why I have to say Palacios instead of Palacios. Brownsville and the Texas-Tamaulipas border. What you're seeing here is where the Rio Grande empties into the Gulf of Mexico. Brownsville and the Texas-Tamaulipas border are a case study in how the preservation and rehabilitation of historic buildings and places has transformed people's perceptions of the places they are from and the value they place on community. Next, please. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, it seemed as though Brownsville's 19th and early 20th century buildings would be demolished one by one. Next, please. Major community landmarks, such as the Convent of the Incarnate Word and Blessed Sacrament, built in 1868, next please, were threatened by public agencies and private owners. The Housing Authority of the City of Brownsville demolished the convent in 1969 for public housing. Next. 2 years later, St. Joseph Academy, built in 1869, next, was demolished and replaced by a parking lot. Next, please. By the early 1970s, as such landmarks as the Gomila House of 1875 were pulled down, the high rise in the background is the housing that replaced the convent. It seemed as though Brownsville would soon have no historic fabric left. Next, please. In Laredo's 200 miles upriver from Brownsville, it was the construction of Interstate 35 in the early 1970s, next please, that took block after block, rich with both vernacular and high-style architecture, next please, leaving in its wake a chain of so-called plazas, framed by wide, traffic-laden thoroughfares. Next, please. In other Texan border cities, this is Rio Grande City, Texas, midway between Laredo and Brownsville, a shrinking economy and indifference to cultural heritage resulted in the withering away of the city's architectural patrimony, evident in the decay of the beautiful Campbell House, built in 1852, and by 2022, next please, a ruined shell. Next please. 50 years ago, concerned citizens, primarily women, initiated a preservation planning process in Brownsville, which involved hiring Galveston preservation consultant Ellen Beasley to work with community volunteers to conduct surveys of historical resources that could be used to formulate city policies to encourage and reward preservation. Next, please. Although it was gratifying when outsiders took notice, Constance Greif documented destruction of the convent in her nationwide survey, Lost America from the Mississippi to the Pacific of 1974. Next, please. It was local activity and local media recognition that was crucial for encouraging and sustaining Brownsville's preservation initiative. Next, please. In examining Palacios and its architecture, its cultural landscape,